Welcome. So you can't park here.
Yeah. It's a beautiful morning, but I am dragging ass today.
Are you really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I slept great.
Here's something interesting to nobody. Foam toppers. Oh, what's your foam topper game?
I had nothing.
Oh, you got to get a 3-inch foam topper on top of your bed.
Really?
Yeah. I've been at various different points in my life. I've been like a quilt over plywood kind of firmness.
Right.
No longer.
No longer.
I still have the bed set to like as firm as it goes. You know,
Right.
It's like one of those air mattresses.
Yeah.
Like a, whatever they call them. Not Tempur-Pedic, the other one.
Yeah.
And I still have it set all the way firm, but then like 3 inches of like foam on top.
Really? All right, I got to try this.
Try it out. It's really good. It's really
And
good.
you're not talking about like that creepy kind of brown foam.
No. This is like they like put in unnecessary colors to make it look like a swirling galaxy for you to drift away on and spend the money. Get an expensive one because like the cheap ones are. I've got one that I roll out for like in the bed of the truck. Just go fast camping when I'm hunting.
Okay.
And like not like fine, but a good one. I can only assume that it has every forever chemical we've come up with so far.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. I'm going to definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's like you getting older?
Yeah. No, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. No, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny because I feel that. Like, I definitely feel that I am getting older. Mm-hmm. But, like, I wake up and I'm like kind of stiff. And I'm like, waking up at night to pee more. Yeah. And like,
I still, like, I won't do it. I'll be like uncomfortable all night.
Yeah.
Instead of getting up once to go pee.
Principle.
Yeah. I won't do it.
It's funny. I can like see these things happening. Like, I don't know, just like have a little ache, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
And it'll be there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Or when you like do something, you're like, oh, that's gonna hurt in a couple hours.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Something in your neck.
But then I see like other people, like younger people and older people.
Yeah.
And I still can't like where I'm at in relation to them in terms of my age, it's just impossible for me to like, I'm like, I still feel very young.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm like, I'll see another like early 40s guy. And I'm like, man, that guy looks old as shit.
Yeah,
Like,
God,
that
guy's unwell.
It must be shitty to be that old. I can't put it in perspective.
I'm the same
I feel
way.
very young still.
Yeah. It's difficult sometimes even dealing with my very young child. I'll be like, oh yeah, dude, I remember when I like was having fun playing with someone and like I took it too far. Like I like hugged them too hard or something. Wait a second, that was like 34 years ago, and I'm like relating to it like it's something that just happened to me. Yeah, it's troubling. Aches and pains.
Yeah.
So the other day I was like, why? Like, it doesn't make sense to me that like sleeping on a non-cushioned surface would lead to like aches and pains. Do you know why it is?
No.
It's because like even when you're unconscious in sleep, your body is still like tensing muscles because you're sleeping on such a firm surface. It's like tensing muscles to compensate for not being like fully supported.
No shit.
Yeah. So like if you're sleeping on a firm surface, you're kind of getting a workout.
Huh.
Yeah. In like a horrible, not worth it kind of way.
That is wild.
Are you at the stage in your life where like sleep is your self-care routine?
How so? Like,
I just feel like it's become popular, and I think it's good it's become popular.
Yeah.
But that it's like people used to brag about not sleeping very much.
Right.
Oh, whether it's a workaholic or a party or whatever, they're like, oh, I can only get like 4 hours of sleep in.
Right. Or five hours
max.
Is plenty.
Yeah. Or exactly. Like I only run on 5 hours. Like, which is maybe true, but probably not. But it seems like it's kind of gone the opposite way, and now people are like, oh, like my sleep routine is sacred to me. Like I clocked like my sleep score last night was in the high 90s. Like I clocked like 9 hours of peak sleep, and I think it's good. Like I was guilty of it, but mostly because I was an insomniac for much of my drinking and drugging years. Maybe it's not insomnia if you're drinking a pint of vodka, but self-inflicted.
Yeah.
But it always seemed weird to be like, oh, you know, I'm sleep and go fuck yourself.
Right.
You know, it's not, I can't do it.
I remember when we used to work together.
Yeah.
So many years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It has been a while, which is another startling consequence of age. Like,
Right.
that feels very recent, but that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still wearing the shirt.
I am.
Yeah.
I was looking at felt bikes the other day. I was like, they go out of business? No, like I think bike companies just like have a big marketing push, and especially probably more when you're hooked into the bike industry,
right?
As we were.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, they got a huge booth at this thing. Oh wow, they're really doing a lot of giveaways. Like like Felt and BMC 10 years ago, I think we're doing a huge marketing push.
Yeah.
And like they were like, in my mind, it worked, because in my mind I was like, what like premium brands they are.
Right.
And I was like, oh, they must be out of business. And I looked it up, and they're both like doing fine.
Right.
Like in an industry where bike companies are going under at the drop of a hat. Like they're both pretty good, but they just like, I think that was just their like North American marketing push. And maybe in another 4 years they're going to do it again.
Yeah, it's crazy because you'll go to Europe and look at the scene over there, and they just have different brands. Like you've heard of the brands, but it'll be like, you know, it'll be like Felt and BH are like really popular.
Yeah.
Now but not
like,
here.
Where's Trek?
Right.
Like,
Now Canyon is just like the biggest thing here.
Right.
It's like, remember when it was like you couldn't buy a bike online?
Yeah.
Now it's like, you want the best bike?
Yeah.
It's online.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a wait list.
Yeah.
And they're not the
best bike, but they're a great bike.
They're a good bike.
Yeah. So we would work these incredibly long days. You know, it'd be like, I remember doing days it was like 12 hours worth of work, and then we'd jump into a big ass box truck and drive for a few hours and then camp, and then like just insane.
Yeah.
The camping though, I don't want to give myself too much credit for that. I camped like one time, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm driving to the hotel.
I was like, these are great. Like I love this like driving and camping at the place you're going to set up. Like it was like, I thought that was the cheat code. And you were like, I'm going to drive 40 minutes to a hotel and then 40 minutes back.
Yeah.
And I'm like in a little bivvy sack too. Like that's the thing. Like for that, we're talking specifically for this one about a bike, like a fun ride across the state of Iowa and Iowa. And like everybody camps along the way. And it was like, just these public fields in small town Iowa get taken over by these bike packing tents, and I'm just there in like my surplus army biddy sack.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, no, there was a bunch of. It was funny. Dane's over there in his tiny little tent. It was like I'd never even seen one of those tents before. And then of course, you know, like hipster Dane's like the guy that's got the canvas tiny little tent. You have to crawl in like a worm.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shimmy.
Yeah. And you're a tall man.
I am a tall man. Yeah.
Like you must have barely fit in there.
You know, it was. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think it was tight, but convenient.
You were the coolest one out there camping for sure.
I appreciate
that. Then there was me, and I had like the nice brand name 2-person. I was being I'm like, it's just gonna be me
with
in
a
there
cot
with my giant cot. Yeah. And I was still miserable.
It's worth pointing out that it's not like I was packing this tiny little bivy sack because we were short on space. Like we had a 35-foot box truck, and it was full of product, but it wasn't like full to the top. So like we could have put, gigantic 8-person tents in there.
Totally.
I'm like, my move was like, like the go fast little canvas bivy sack.
Right.
Yeah.
You set it up, and then you're drinking whiskey in like
and just in
5 minutes.
In a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, long days.
We would do these epic long days and then drive a bunch, and then we'd just get hammered,
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, we deserve this because we worked so long. And then it was like, I remember some nights it was like, maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And it was kind of fine. It was like you wake up and you're hungover and you work all day, and you just know, you're like, as soon as I get done, I'm going to have a beer and it's going to be fabulous. It was almost like you work harder just to be like, when I get done, it's going to taste that much better.
That's right.
But man, getting those like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, back then it was like, this is manageable. I can do this for a week or two. But as soon as I got home, I was just wrecked. I was like sleeping for 12 hours and just like on the couch. And
well, I think part of what I liked about doing events and there was a lot of downsides, but like one of the upsides is it definitely had like the energy of a happening, I guess. Like I don't want to say like a party or something, but like there was energy to it, and like people were excited to be there and like get their swag.
Right.
And the other vendors were less excited, but it had like everyone kind of fed off of each other. But as soon as you're like out of that space, you're just like, you look back and you're like, first of all, that was pretty lame.
Yeah.
Second, I'm like dead to the world for a while.
Right.
For they're like as many days as you were sleep deprived, you're like oversleep.
Yeah, it was funny too with the it was like it just showed how much of a sheep I really was, that I'd be like I'd be at a trade show or some stupid event, and then as soon as they started giving out free beer, like it would be like one free beer, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. Yeah like just the free beer. God,
it really does a lot. There was one event that I'm sad we didn't go to. Or no, we went to it, but I'm sad I didn't take advantage of it. That a sock company, I think it was Swiftwix, was giving out free tattoos of their logo only.
Yeah, I remember this.
What a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had done that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember we were like checking it out. I would never do that, but you were like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And we went over there and there are like 30 people ahead of you.
Yeah, they were like, it's a 6-day wait and it's a 4-day event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was great marketing.
I remember, I think it was Oscar Blues that did, if you got the Tasty Weasel logo tattooed on you, then you got a free beer anytime you went in there.
I didn't realize there was a logo.
Yeah.
But that would have made great economical sense for us.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like we spent multi-thousands of dollars there.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like $10,000? I don't know. Probably not. But
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
I mean, it was years, and we went there like almost every weekday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could have been.
And like we didn't just get beers, of which they did give us a lot of free beer.
So many.
But like I don't think they ever gave us, or rarely gave us, like free food. And those were, it was a different economy, but those were $15 sandwiches.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like not cheap.
It was funny too, that was just this like tiny little hamburger joint that we went to all the time that had great beer.
Yeah.
But they stayed in business for so long.
Yeah, and I was think it's claimed, it's like for us, it wasn't like we liked the beer, but it was also just the proximity to your house.
That
right?
was a big part of it.
That was like I think if that wasn't there, we would have found some other restaurant that served beer.
Definitely.
Walking distance from your house.
There was some charm to this place though. Like we'd go in there and like a lot of nights it would just be us in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you guys staying open? I remember talking to one of the managers about it, and they're like, oh yeah, this place loses a ton of money. But it's just like, part of the brand for the business.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, is like that
Beer
brewery
margins.
is printing money.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So they're like they're brick and mortar like food stores. They're just like it's just part of the portfolio.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you went hunting?
Yeah, hunting last night.
Yeah.
Not much to report. I saw a lot of small microfauna. Yeah, like a lot of gray squirrels and chipmunks and like some interesting birds. Amateur ornithologist, but no megafauna, which is what I was hoping for.
Do you find that when you're out there, you don't see anything, and then you're like, it was still like, I saw a bunch of beautiful shit. I was hiking around. This is great. But like when you're going out there, do you think like, you know what? There's a good chance I'm not going to see anything. I'm not going to kill anything today.
Never.
But I'm excited to see how beautiful it is.
Never. I mean, I am. I'm always like, oh, it's going to be so beautiful, and I'm excited to. It's like I don't really condone walking off trail in any instance except for hunting. So it's like so nice to like. You're like deep in these woods, like well away from a trail, and you just see like these interesting landscapes. Like last night, there was a section of the mountain that was like stunted pine trees, and it wasn't like an elevation thing. And I was like, it must have been the soil composite or something. But it was just none of them were that high, but they were all old. And there was a section that just had a ton of blowdown trees. And like there's just there's always going to be something interesting to find. But every single time I go out, I'm going to kill a boon or elk or like whatever the species that I'm targeting is. And like, there's no reason that I should think that, because if like, I don't like when people say data guy, but I am like data aware. And if I look at the statistics, like my whatever the equivalent of KD is for hunting, my kills to days out there is like horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But in the 0.002 maybe. But I just, every time I'm like, oh, this is the time. Like, it's just going to happen. It's going to, like, I'm going to call it in perfectly. It's going to walk. It's going to be beautiful. Just deliver a quick, like, kill shot and just spend the next 3 hours in the dark cutting this animal up.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, how do you feel about walking through the woods in the dark?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
You
great
mean like
with it.
pitch black?
Yeah, like nighttime.
Oh, nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I think if I had boots and pants and shit, it would be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like.
What do you mean boots and pants?
I'm just like. I'm like thinking about tripping over shit and like falling down hills. And
Okay,
like,
yeah.
As long as I had some like, personal protective
Got
equipment.
you. Not like, I'm just trying to figure out the scenario where your boots and pants lists. But you just mean like Tevas and shorts.
Normally, I'm like, I can't remember the last time I had pants on. I think that's why I said that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I love it. But it occurs to me like a lot of people are not like walking through the woods in the dark enthusiasts, and like I get a lot of peace from it, and it's like one of the things I look forward to is I'm like miles deep, and I'm like, well, there's 20 minutes left of shooting light, but it's going to be like a nice walk back in the dark through the woods. And I'd be interested to know, like, I don't think it's for everyone. I think modernity has like soured us on experiencing nature like under anything but the best circumstances. It was also like intermittently thunderstorming while I was up there, which I also thought was great, like added to the experience. But like very few people are like, oh, it's thunderstorming, let's get in the woods right now, right? So it's like, I don't know. I thought about it as I was walking down, and I think a lot of people, like, because they don't want to walk in the woods, like, miss remote sunsets. Like, if you even don't think about it as hunting, if you just think about it as like, the experience. Like, I was out on this like knob looking over a meadow at sunset, and it was not that far, but like 4 or 5 miles back.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sure I'm not the only person who's ever done that, but I bet a lot of people are like, I don't want to walk back here in the dark.
Yeah.
Because of the Sasquatches.
Well, I mean, for me, I would be fine going back there with you, but alone, no fucking way, because I'm just like, sure, I would get lost. That's my main concern.
Yeah. I think that there's... It's funny because I don't really... I like joke about the masculinity crisis. I don't think that there really is one. But then there are things that I bring up and I'm like, well, maybe that is. But like GPS mapping, like we're losing a wayfinding skill with GPS mapping, right? Like I try to go back just on like feel, like not even a compass, just like trying to figure out where I go back. But I'm always like, this doesn't look right. And I like look at where I am on my offline GPS mapping, and I'm like, oh yeah, I am off, and like make the correction, right? And it's like, it's almost at the point where why wouldn't you, other than an exercise, because I'm like, I know that I can go this way and I'll hit a road.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I'm just adding time, like walking on the road to go back. So whereas paracord, I'm bucking the infantilizing effect of ratchet straps. GPS mapping, I am fully embracing it.
Yeah. Huh.
For better or worse.
When was the last time you have you gotten an elk before?
Never.
Never.
Only deer.
Huh.
Yeah. Only deer and small game.
When was the last time you got a deer?
Last year.
Was it?
Yeah. Last October.
And you chopped it into pieces out there in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Carried it back.
Yep.
And then what happens next? Did you like take it to a processing person?
No, but if I got an elk, I think I would.
Yeah.
Like I've done it. I've butchered all my own deer. And it is every year I'm like, I'm going to be better at this. And every year I'm like, wow, this is like a multi-day process for me.
And it's like hard to do, or you just
it's
like,
not hard to do.
Yeah.
It's time consuming.
Gotcha.
And it could be less time consuming the less particular you are. But I'm like trying to like really cut everything so that it's ready to cook. So like really being diligent about cutting off silver skin depending on the cut, and like, you know, trimming it and not losing any meat, like really cutting it close to the silver skin, and then like putting the I have a small grind pile and like a small dog pile.
Okay.
And the rest is like for roasts and steaks and stuff.
Huh.
And I think, you know, you grind it all. You could grind the whole deer and you'd be done in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like mincemeat, as our friends across the pond say, but it's not like, I just don't, it's not my move, because you can like, I'll just take a roast, slow cook it, and like have it, you know, sort of like carne asada, pull apart and use that for any application that you'd use mince.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But no, it's a chore. I think for an elk, I would take it to a processor.
Yeah.
Just because it's like 3 times as big if you get a bull.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's daunting to process that much. Plus, it's September. And I think people are a little bit overly worried about like meat temperature.
Yeah.
Generally. But you know, if you've got that hanging in your garage, and I think it's supposed to get up to 80 today.
90.
90? Yeah, like, you know, that's like, I think good airflow. It's a dry climate. It might be all right. But like, I'd get nervous about like, I don't have the fridge space to keep that cold.
Right.
So it would just be hanging while I'm like, you know, wax papering it and putting it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And I'd get a little nervous, so I think I'd probably just zip it off to a processor. But that's a problem that, like, there are a couple things where I'm like, I'm not sure what I'd do, but that would be a good problem to figure out. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Like, I'm not sure. Like, the cooler that I tote in the back of my truck can pretty comfortably fit 2 deer broken down and a little ice. But, like, I don't think an elk would fit in there. And I'm like, what part of the, I guess we'll like, we'll ice the big pieces of meat to get that internal temperature down, like the back legs and stuff. And I don't know what parts we're just going to throw in the back of the truck in a game bag, but that's going to be a great problem to have when that comes around.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much bigger elk were than deer.
Big.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be wrong about the three times as big, but I think it's close to that.
I mean, I could believe I remember seeing it was like an image of like a Cabela's type store where they, you know, had like a big, at least outdoor hunting department.
Yeah.
Because they're like freezers, their deep freezer section.
Yeah.
They had them like, this one will hold a deer.
Yeah.
This one will hold 2 deers worth. And I remember being like 1, 2, 3 deer. And then the biggest one was like 1 elk.
Yeah. Yeah. Our freezer could like if I got an elk, there would have to be some decisions about the stuff that's in the freezer.
Yeah.
Like we would be going full carnivore for like a week to clear up some freezer space. Because, you know, we pick at it and every day, we're not like every day we eat some animal protein.
Yeah.
Mostly, maybe 50-50, like store-bought versus like wild game.
Yeah.
That's probably a little generous, but you know, it's like if we had to, I think we'd probably just buy a new freezer. I think the agreement, the tacit understanding is like if you get an elk, like you're going to upgrade your grinder. You're probably going to upgrade your freezer. The elk is just the first part of the investment. Like you're definitely stopping by a store to like get some extra stuff.
Yeah. That's funny. I don't know. I just feel like being out there, like, you know, I like run into a deer and shit, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then you run into like, a buck.
Yeah.
And you're like, that thing is fucking big. And
Yeah.
those antlers are terrifying.
Yeah.
And then you see an elk and it's like it's like a completely different level of fear for me.
It is.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the guy? I'm sure I must have. And I hate to, like, I've gotten a lot of traction out of defaming this guy, but I was at the park, Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
And there were some elk, and this guy was, we were like standing around. I was in high school, younger. And this guy was explaining to his son that a deer turns into an elk, which turns into a moose. And I was like, this guy is like, is this a bit? Is he
right.
Maybe it's like a Pokemon thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then he was like, let's go get a picture with you on the back of the elk. It wasn't in Rocky Mountain, it was in Estes. So like the elk there are
God.
like definitely pets.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. And he's like, no. Like, there's nothing dangerous. Like, they wouldn't allow dangerous animals.
Just be walking through town.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I hope that everyone's still fine, but like valuable insight into like people's interaction with nature versus mine. And I was like, oh yeah, like that's alarming.
I mean, I see that all the time with, I worked in like compliance and safety for a while, and it was wild to see like how much Americans, and I think probably Europeans and a lot more of the like not the third world nations, they just assume that everything is safe. Like if this is around me, then it must be a safe thing that I don't have to worry about. And it's crazy with the animals. It's like, that is a wild animal. And I think people get it like with like kind of more the pests. They're like, I'm not going to go and pet that raccoon. But then they could be like, well, that bears must be friendly for it to be around people.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. It is.
Amazing.
It is startling. It is. Two things. So don't let me forget my second thing. But I heard somebody recently talking about the idea that like the more dangerous an animal is, the like better optics it gets, right? Like a polar bear, like very charismatic killer.
Yeah.
Like stone killer. Right. Second thing, people's like disconnection with the natural environment. A friend sent me a video of like one of his work colleagues where there were two rattlesnakes like entwined in a lover's embrace. They were copulating.
Nice.
And I know. And like the conversation in the back of the video was this guy who has a medical degree, like is a smart person.
Yeah.
Just being like, what do we do? What, like, he was in a car and he's like, what? I guess I'll run him over. And like, they're like, someone in the video is like, don't run him over.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what? Otherwise, what do we do? Call animal control? And it's like, God. It just is astonishing that somebody who, like, society is recognized as intelligent, like, they are unaware of what to do in a situation where like nature is existing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, talk about the conquest and hubris of humans.
Yeah.
Like, it's astonishing.
I mean, it's wild too, because it's like, it's that way with these animals where you're like, oh no, like wild animals. Just like, it seems so easy just to be like, if it's not a domesticated animal,
right,
don't touch it. Like, stay away from it. And like, even some of the domesticated animals, it's like, really, you shouldn't touch any animals. I think that's it. It's like, you don't just walk up and pet someone's dog, you know? Like, cats are the fucking worst.
They really
I can't think of a pet that I'm like, that there's no way that thing is not doesn't have the capacity to attack you. I'm trying to think of one. Maybe like
some sort of
hamster or something.
I mean, they could bite you, but like not that severely.
Yeah. But the animal thing, that that seems obvious. But then it's like, you see people in just like in their environment doing these things where you're like, what are you doing? Like, don't climb that, because if you fall off of it, you're gonna like really hurt yourself, and then search and rescue is gonna have to come, and it's gonna turn into this whole thing. I'm gonna be like, I'm paying for this, which that's gonna bother me for like a week.
Right. Well, search and rescue is covered by the person who gets rescued.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's not a public service.
How much does that cost?
I don't know, but if you get a hunting and fishing license, it has search and rescue insurance included.
I saw that. Does that mean that you?
I think you're like paying, like that's your tax, right? Like that's the. No, I don't have my hunting license on me, but like that's the. It used to be 25 cents, and it was like, when I was working with this outdoor like educator, we always told people like, just if you're coming out, like we're going to go into the back country, the side country, not the back country. And we're going to be like, doing some flint napping, doing some fire starting. Like there's the potential where you might need to get like carried out, and we'll do the best we can. But, it's a good idea to just grab a day fishing license, even though you're not going to fish, because it has search and rescue insurance on
That's
it.
so funny. I just imagine you're like out there, you're fucking about to die. It's been 3 days. Somehow you've survived. Search and rescue shows up, and they're like, "Don't worry, buddy, we got you."
Yeah, let me just.
Can I get a peek at your license?
They just hold out the card reader,
right?
Like if you want to just leave a tip. I think
I'm
not
a
sure.
helicopter and like multiple people and.
Well, I had a friend that like got lost in the backcountry.
Yeah,
and he had intermittent cell service and like was able to call search and rescue, and they were like, "Oh, we can't really come get you."
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's like they were like, and I guess maybe it's because they were like, "You're fine,
right?
Like you'll make it through the night, and we can come get you in the morning." But like he was like, he and 2 other buddies were like doing some backcountry skiing and like went past their turnoff or something and had to walk for ages to get out of the situation. And like at one point, like he couldn't see his location on the map, but he could send me a pin. And so then I could see where he is and like tell him like, okay, you need to go down and up. And he'll be like,
wow.
And like at one point he like calls search and rescue, or his girlfriend does or something. And they're like, yeah, if you can get to the bottom of this ski resort, we can help you. And I was like, well, we don't really need to be found or rescued if we get to the bottom of a ski resort.
Right. We're just in the bar.
Yeah. Come on now. But yeah, maybe if he was like, I've broken my leg, maybe they'd mount an effort.
I think that's the thing. I think there's got to be, again, going back to just being totally unprepared and expecting that things are built for you. So many people like just get caught up on 14ers and they're like, I thought it was going to be fine. Like I got up here at 10 o'clock in the morning and then I didn't realize there was going to be like a huge storm and I would need some sort of a rain jacket. And you're like, those are the people that call search and rescue, and search and rescue is like, no.
Yeah. I heard about I think it was in Yellowstone somewhere, like a family had rented e-bikes and their e-bikes ran out of battery, but they still had the ability to bike, but they called search and rescue.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe, I don't know. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that there was extenuating circumstances, but when you hear someone say my e-bike ran out of battery and I called search and rescue, it gives you a feeling about that person that's not positive.
It's got to be like those search and rescue guys they must be the coolest people ever. Like that kind of a job, smoke jumpers and, first responders, except for police. No, I'm just kidding. Fabulous, right? Like usually just the coolest people. I feel like if you were out there, you're hiking and you get mauled by a bear and then you call them, they're like, we are coming and you're not going to have a bill.
Yeah.
But if your e-bike runs out of battery, you're getting charged. And it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah, someone's like, I'll come out with my Tacoma, and it's going to cost you $40,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So the bear guy gets it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which seems fair.
I think it's pretty fair. So back to walking alone in the woods.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, I'd do it if I had pants on, which is fair.
Yeah. Pants and boots.
Yeah. But you wouldn't want to do it alone. Is it because you'd get lost or because you're worried about animal encounter?
No, it's really just getting lost.
Just getting lost. Yeah.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, the people that die out there in the wilderness, you hear about it, and you're like, oh my God, fuck, like they get lost, so they're like terrified. I think like you get legitimately lost, and then you realize that you're lost after walking in probably the wrong direction for a long time.
Yeah.
That's got to be super scary.
Pretty panicky.
And then you like run out of food and water, and then you're like, oh my God, like not only am I lost, but I'm gonna like, starving to death, or just like not having water and dying like that.
Yeah.
Rough.
I think it's mostly exposure people die from.
Is it?
Like
Yeah.
not being able to, I mean, I don't know, but I think it's either like an injury. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think there's a lot of people starving to death.
Well,
I think
that's,
it's-
yeah, but like people aren't like dying of thirst. Don't you only have like
Maybe.
a couple of days?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, 3 days, they
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
But,
I guess after 3 days, you probably die of something else.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, after 3 days, unless you just were like sitting on a rock, like,
yeah.
you know, like if you were moving at all, I think you'd find some water.
Yeah.
Depending on your climate.
Right. That's true. I just think for me, like,
Yeah.
I think I would be fine.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why.
Okay, go on.
Because I would get lost, and then I'd be like, I'd be fucking freaking out. I'd be like, all right, what am I going to do here? I'd like think about all the things that I should have learned about like wilderness survival.
Yeah.
And then I'd be lost and scared, and then like the first night would pass, and I'd be so pissed off the next morning. Just like I would be so angry that I would just be like, I'm not giving up here. Like
Yeah.
I am going to make it back, and I'm going to bitch like crazy when I get back, and I'll find someone to blame for this.
Yeah.
That will keep my rage will keep me going.
You're like, I don't know who's at fault here, but
Yeah.
it's not me.
No.
Yeah, I think that's probably good. I also think that a lot of it is like just like pushing the panic away or like controlling the panic, right? Like if you're like, you know, I've been turned around. I don't think I've ever been badly lost. But there's like a spike where you're like, uh-oh. And then if you just are like, hold on.
Yeah.
What I like to do, and I don't know if this is good advice, but what I like to do when I like in any situation that I like feel my hippocampus, whatever like is the fight or flight taking over, is I'm like, I like treat that person like a different person. I'm like, oh, hey, Dwayne. Like alter ego, Dwayne.
Chill.
And I'm like, hey, Dwayne, like, don't worry about it. I'm here with you. And it like really helps. And it's just, like,
Interesting. Yeah.
like take a breath and like bring that midbrain back online to do the decision making. Like, Dwayne, there's a time and a place to make like fast fighting decisions, and this isn't it.
I like that because then when you really start to lose your mind, you're already like, I already split my personality.
That is, don't think that hasn't occurred to me. Like, I am like, is this like an early warning sign of schizophrenia that I'm like talking about myself?
It is.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I also, it's happening less this year, which actually makes me more worried. But in the past, whenever wind blows through aspen leaves specifically, like I hear voices that are just far enough away that I can't distinguish what they're saying. And I've been like, geez, that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
And I've looked into it, and I think I'm fine. Like most of the time, schizophrenia like would have presented, and I think it's just like my brain trying to make sense of the noise. I mean, we're like any movement, our brain's trying to figure it out. Any like noise, we're trying to figure it out. So I think it's that. But I haven't noticed it this year, which makes me nervous. It's either like a sign of senility that it's going away,
Right.
or a sign that it was something serious that now it's like not presenting.
You've packaged it up.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
So-
going to come out like, and it's going to be intense when it comes back.
And Dwayne's going to be in charge. And that guy,
Right? Yeah.
that guy is scared of everything.
Yeah. You're like, Dwayne's like, you're not going to be okay. Yeah. This is going to be the end of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just making a decision about what to order at a coffee shop.
Right. Yeah.
Paralyzed.
To go back on the meat. So I had this buddy, very charismatic guy. Still very close friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he's like one of those guys that like, you know, he moves into a new house or apartment or whatever it is. One of the guys that like, he moves a lot, right?
Yeah.
But he moves in and then he never really like unpacks his shit. You know, there's like boxes and stuff there. So he's like, you know, he's a little bit scattered. Awesome guy, but like, you know, he's got an unusual kind of like setup in his houses.
He's not Marie Kondoing it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I remember one time he used to like share a buffalo with like a couple other people.
Yeah. Great.
Awesome. Yeah. And it would come like very simple, right? It was like, it would just come packaged in like individual like wax paper things that you're just like, here's pull one of these out and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And he had like a whole fucking deep freezer in his garage
Yeah.
full of these things, and then the power went out one day, and it just kicked the freezer off or something. The freezer stopped working.
Yeah.
And he had like a quarter of a buffalo, which apparently buffalo, I think even bigger than the elk, right?
think
Like
so.
way
Yeah,
bigger.
quite
Yeah.
big. Large.
Yeah. So it was like full of this elk, and then the power went out or something happened to the freezer and it stopped working, and the meat went bad. And I guess it like went bad pretty quickly,
Yeah.
right? I think
Yeah.
like you've got until like the ice crystals are no longer there, and then it's like you need to eat this meat or like throw it out.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like, especially in a freezer, because it doesn't add any air, right? It's like once it warms up in there, it's like trapped all the moisture, so there's no like drying effect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
what
makes
did he
sense.
do?
So, and I remember I went over to his house a few times, like while this was happening, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And he didn't know the freezer was.
no, he did.
Okay.
So like, yeah, he found out, like he went out there and he's like, oh fuck, like oh my God, like I think all this meat is ruined.
Yeah.
And so, like I would have gone in and just thrown all that shit out. Like it would have been a bummer because I'm
Right.
sure that was crazy expensive to get all that meat. I think it's like a year's worth of meat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have just thrown that stuff away and then moved on.
Yeah.
I think like it might have been because it was so expensive, or I don't know what the reason, but he was just like, I'm not going to do anything. And so he just left all this meat in this freezer in his garage, and it turned into this massive biohazard.
Oh, I didn't like turn the freezer back on.
No.
Oh, wow.
It was just done. And then his move after that was he just moved to a different apartment.
It was pretty good. Just left the freezer.
Yeah.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
catastrophe for somebody.
Can you imagine?
I imagine somebody's first reaction is there's a body in there.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Surely there's
Right.
a body in there.
So I guess it's great because then you're like, I mean, if you think you're about to open a deep freezer and find a human body,
Yeah.
and then it's just a bunch of rotten
Yeah.
buffalo.
Oh,
you're
thank
like,
goodness.
yeah.
I am scared of that so much. Like, it really concerns me. So, and like to the point where I have like a little alarm. This is my OCD.
Uh-huh.
I have like a little alarm that goes in the freezer that'll go off if it goes above a certain temperature.
No shit.
And then I was like, but what if that alarm goes off? So I got a second one that Bluetooths to the home kit
Wow.
because I was worried that one would fail and I'd
Yeah.
lose all this meat.
Yeah.
But recently I've been like, what if whatever knocks it off? Because, we travel fairly
Yeah.
frequently. So
Yeah.
I don't just want it to like go off locally. I want to get the notification.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what if the power like restarts the home kit for some reason?
Right.
So I'm thinking about hiring someone to come check on the meat while I'm out of town.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meat checker.
Yeah. I'm not really going to do that, but it does keep, it is.
What
like,
else? What other options do you have? I know.
You just have to, like, we were doing a long camping trip earlier this spring in the G-Mug, the Gunnison, Uncompahgre, other Grand Mesa
Oh yeah.
area.
Yep. Beautiful.
Beautiful. And came back, and our automatic garden waterer,
Yeah.
the hose that like went between the faucet and the computer,
Yeah.
had ruptured.
Oh.
And long story short, we lost 30,000 gallons over that weekend.
Wow.
Like we're looking at it, talking to the city, because we were like, what is this giant bill?
Yeah.
And they can they have the ability to show you like minute by minute water usage. And
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it must have burst like as we were leaving the driveway just all weekend.
Damn.
And I'm a little, it's like, oh, whatever, it happened. And it wasn't, I think it was like the way water usage works, at least for us, is it's like up to 10,000 gallons. It's
Yeah.
like 0.01 cent or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like after that, it's like 1 cent. And then at a certain point, they're like, hey, 10 cents a gallon.
Damn.
So like we definitely were out like $200 or $300.
Yeah.
And,
On water that just went back in the ground.
it just went back in
Yeah.
the ground. And, there's a part of it that's like, yeah, we're not in a drought, but like that is resource mismanagement.
Sure.
But the other part is I'm like, that's the equivalent of a swimming pool, and none of my neighbors were like, oh, let's go. Like, and I'm on good terms with my neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a loner, but I'm a strong believer that you need to like talk to people and like foster good neighborly relationship for like where you live, but even just like when you're out fishing, right?
Sure.
So I'm just perplexed. Like, I'm sure some of it was making like my neighbor's lawn soggy. And I'm like, the equivalent of a moderately sized swimming pool was flowing into your lawn, and you weren't like, I think I might just pop over and see. I might just shoot him a text and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But
do you do the thing where you like set your lights to go off at certain times when you're gone and like make it look like someone's home?
I do, but not to like Home Alone the situation.
Oh, okay.
I do because I go through various stages where I like have different routines, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
especially at night, like or in the winter. I mean, I want to come down because I get up early, and I want to come down to like the lights already on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I just like leave it that way for the rest of the year. So we're like away on a trip or whatever. We're like down in Bonaire, and it's like the lights are coming on at 5 a.m. at the house, and it's so it's not like I'm not like. I'm really showing them what's up.
Yeah.
It's just like we like the lights to come on. We like our TV watching lights, which is like kind of a lamp to come on at 9 and go off at 10.
Yeah.
Which is inconvenient because we always go past 10 and then we're just like plunged into darkness momentarily.
Right.
But you?
Yeah. So it's funny because I'm like, I do the same thing. I've got some like smart lights and plugs and shit, right? But it's mainly like for when we're home and just, it's worked really well is like my young children wake up so fucking early, but now they're old enough that I'm like, do not wake me up until like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so we have the lights set, so it's like when this light comes on, then you can start making noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they do before that?
They're like down doing art and like,
okay, that's pretty good.
And the older one is finally starting to take care of the younger one.
That's nice. I feel like she's, from what I've seen, and maybe this is something that she's more interested in doing it to someone not in her family, but she likes to sort of be like with my kid, she likes to facilitate activities and be like, oh, let's go over here and ride this whatever it is.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know, I see a maybe not a caretaking, but a little bit of leadership in her.
Definitely. And I don't really know where that comes from, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, so we've got like some automated stuff in the house, but like when I leave and we're going to go on a longer trip, I got it planned out, right? I'm like, it's funny because I'm like, all right, this light, I'm going to have it come on at 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to have it just kind of go until like 3 o'clock in the morning because...
Who...
And I'm like, because I'm like, who at home is going to keep a light on all night? People, the robbers are going to know about that. And then I'm like, so I'm setting all these different things up to make it look like we're home. But then I'm like, but there's no cars in the driveway now, right? It looks like...
But maybe there's a car in the garage.
Maybe there is. Yep.
Right.
But then I like take a step back and I'm like you said, this is not Home Alone.
Right.
Like there's not some like robbers that are casing the neighborhood looking for people going on vacation.
Yeah.
If somebody's breaking into my house, it's a junkie. Yeah. Just like, and
doesn't matter if you're there or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you identify that because I think there are like professional robbers that do like case the joint, but not in our neighborhood.
No.
And we're in like a fine income bracket.
Yeah.
But we're not in like there's stuff valuable enough in there to like spend weeks.
Exactly. It's not worth the upfront work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad you realized that. My second question, I guess of 3 is, are these lights like mimicking your like schedule? Like, are you regularly up until 3 a.m? Or are you just like, I want people to think that all of a sudden I'm up until 3 a.m.
I want people to think that I'm busy and I'm like, I'm really doing interesting things way into the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then third is, I had an acquaintance that, I mean, the long and the short of it is that he did a little bit of recreational robbing from time to time.
Yeah.
And like, there was like, it didn't matter. Like, if there was a light on, it didn't matter.
Right.
Like, if he was like, oh, I can get in and out real quick.
Yeah.
you know, it's not gonna. To your point,
Right.
like if someone breaks into your house, like you could be sitting in your chair reading and like look up as they come in the door.
Right,
And they're
yeah.
like, ah.
There's something kind of like romantic about thinking about like a cat burglar. You know,
Right.
they've like planned the whole thing out. They
Right,
know exactly. Yeah. They look great
Yeah.
when they're coming in. They know
Turtleneck.
exactly. Yeah. They go straight for the jewelry box, which would be hilarious if we had a jewelry box,
Right.
but like that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be that at all.
No, it'll probably just be like ripping the TV
It would be that.
and
then just
grabbing a computer,
Right.
and out you go.
Well, or they're staying until you get home, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
you're on vacation.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a pretty nice place. I like the couch.
Yeah, they're like, oh, wow,
We've already
running
ruined
water.
the TV. Yeah. There's a freezer outside. Let's leave the door open on that thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But I definitely like I think about when I'm traveling now, because I used to travel so often that it was just like I wouldn't even think about it. You know,
Yeah.
I'd just be like, all right, I'm locking the door. I'm I made sure the windows are closed, but that was like pretty much it.
Yeah.
But
How
now
many times do you go back to make sure the door's locked?
not as much now. I used to like really I would work myself up, but now I'm like, it's just not even worth it. I'm like, after I got into like, switching our homeowners insurance and like, making sure that my coverage with our umbrella policy, I'm like, if the house burns down or somebody
Yeah.
breaks in, we'll probably be in a better position.
That is something that I often say.
Yeah.
And, whether or not that's true, I still obsess over things. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's definitely, I think people with severe OCD don't like it when people with like mild OCD doesn't exist, but that's not true because it doesn't cripple my life,
Yeah.
but it does make me like turn around and come back and make sure that all the knobs on the stove are off.
Yeah, really.
And like to the point where I'll like take a picture so that I can reference it, or like I'm less concerned about the door being locked, like pretty safe neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, well, I don't want like this window open because I don't want the dog to like scratch
Yeah.
through it or whatever.
Right.
And so I'll like close the window. I'm like, okay, it's closed. And then I like almost like I'll like push my knuckles against it, against like the sharp like opening part. So then I'm like, yeah, I can reference that hurt
Wow.
that
It's
this is closed.
It's like cutting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
it's
I just want
it's
to
not-
feel something.
Right, I'm not
Yeah.
like Huey Mandel over here or whatever that guy's name is, who like, has like debilitating OCD, but there's definitely a little bit of it where I'm like, I guess maybe that's the compulsion part of it, but where you're like, I can't help but like go back and make sure that this thing that I know is happening, and then you get the one time that like the stove is on, and
Yeah.
you're like, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but subconsciously, your mind did that to justify how crazy you are. Yeah.
You're like,
just kind of validate it.
This has been getting out of hand. I better leave this on.
I've definitely had moments where we'll be gone on like a 2-week trip, and I'm like sitting in the hotel room, like in bed, and I'm like, would it be crazy for me to just turn the swamp cooler on at home just for like a few minutes? And then I'm like, yeah, that would be totally crazy. Like, what am I even thinking? And then like the other side, I'll just be like, yeah, maybe it'd be good for like the guitars that are downstairs. And then the rational side of me is like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to just go to bed. So I'll definitely get like, I'll start to get wrapped up and like wound up on some of these things. But I used to go and check my fucking garage door. Like,
I remember.
Oh my God.
And you just kind of look at it, right?
Yeah. I would stand there at night looking at the door from the outside. And I'd be like standing there in my like sleeping shirt and my boxers, just looking at the door. And I just imagine like the neighbors looking out their window and they're like, he's out there again.
He was licking toads again. Yeah. Yeah. The brain's a funny thing. Like,
Yeah.
what is that a residual effect of? Like,
Yeah.
I guess cautiousness that you're like leaving your encampment in good situation so that animals don't come and steal the food that you've like tried really hard to
something.
preserve.
Yeah.
Or like, there must be a residual element that.
Interesting. I never thought about it like that. It's like, this is totally normal.
Yeah.
This is baked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's any of those things that like, if you subscribe, and I hope that the majority of people do at this point, of survival and evolution, like all the little idiosyncrasies, like maybe modernity has brought out like has like made them more prevalent, but they all exist as like something that gave you an edge in the past, right?
Yeah, right.
Like something like there was this thing. I think we both have a touch of the ADHD or ADHD, as I prefer to say. And there was something recently that I was reading where it was like, you didn't want everyone to have that, but you wanted people to have that in your community because they were like better at certain tasks. Like they were better at gathering, whatever
Tiny berries.
Tiny. They could see the berries that other people missed.
Yeah.
And it was just like you wanted like neurodiversity in your small early human group because you needed specialists. You needed someone who's like, all right, you know what? I'm pretty bad at like doing most things, but I can skin the ever-loving snot out of that large mammal.
I wonder, like I always think about, like I see a video from like 100 years ago, right? It's like, oh, these early videos 100
years ago?
Yeah. It's crazy. And now they're all like, they're using a little AI with it, and then they'll, like have some color in there, and you're like, holy shit, like it looked like it really sucked back then. But I'll think about it, and I'm like, oh man, like how would I have done with like, being, back like a few hundred years ago, in one of these like
pretty
little,
recently.
It wasn't that long ago at all. One of these little communities like that's, kind of like it's very small and their world is tiny, right? And I'm like, or even farther back, like, like caveman times. And I feel like I would have been very similar, right? That would have been like, man, Phil, awesome. He got like lost for a week and he was so pissed when we found him, but like he was fine. He's fine. But he is over there just staring at that hole in the ground again.
He's staring at that hole that he like put stuff in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that's interesting that they... I don't know if this is true, but it's something interesting that I've heard where, 100,000 years ago, maybe not that long, but like say 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, 30,000 years ago, those humans might have been a few IQ points off of us, but if you took them and trained them, they could fly a plane. Right? Like the brain hasn't changed that much. Right. It's just like through written records and like improving on what's happened in the past, we've like built up this incredible infrastructure around us. But I think if you put us back in time, I think you might see some people like take advantage of some stuff. Right. But if you put us back in time, we'd probably fill our similar like niche.
I'm sure
there'd be people that like got on our nerves, and there'd be people that we were like close to, right?
And then there's Phil staring at the hole.
Phil, hey, what are you doing over there? I think it's gonna open.
Right? Yeah.
I'm just worried that it's gonna open.
It's funny because I think about like the past, right? And you hear about these like, it's wild that 75 years ago we had Einstein, changed the game, in so many different ways, and then like so much longer ago in the past you had like Galileo and Copernicus, and and it's like it just shows it's like it doesn't really matter. It's like hundreds and hundreds of years ago where people seemingly like peasants that just hated everything about their existence and their world was so small, they were still just as smart as we were now. Like the average person, I feel like there's a pretty good chance that like we've gotten, the knowledge is easier to find now, and like you can check things, but from like a basic biological standpoint, it's like I think we're probably not in as good a position in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, hey, you can't park here.